Welcome back to Royal Sussex Squad. If you believe in truth, fairness, and exposing the endless lies of the Royal Rota, then you've found your home. We're back today with another breakdown of the latest smear campaign against Prince Harry. And surprise, surprise, it's just as ridiculous and transparent as the last one. The royalist media is out in full force, desperately trying to convince the world that Harry is miserable in California and ready to beg for forgiveness from his so-called family. Yeah, right. Because we all know the Windsors have been so warm and loving, haven't they? It's laughable, but it's also dangerous because these smears are designed to undermine everything Harry and Meghan have worked so hard to build. But don't worry, we're not going to let them get away with it. We're here to break down the lies, expose the real agenda, and remind you all why Prince Harry is winning. And before we get started, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And if you want to help keep the truth alive, don't forget to support the channel by hitting that super thanks button. Every little bit helps us fight back against the smear machine. Alright squad, let's get into it. The latest piece of royalist propaganda comes from the Daily Beast's so-called royalist section. Because of course it does. Their latest claim, that Prince Harry is lonely, isolated, and desperate to make peace with his family. Because who wouldn't want to go back to a family that threw them under the bus repeatedly, allowed racist abuse against their wife, and cut off their security knowing they were under threat? Sounds like a real dream reunion, doesn't it? The desperation in this piece is so obvious it's embarrassing. First, we've got these unnamed friends wringing their hands, saying Harry has cut off his old UK social circle. Well, yeah, that's what happens when your so-called friends turn out to be leakers and backstabbers. Why on earth would Harry want to stay in touch with people who have proven they'll sell him out at the drop of a hat? He's moved on. He's built a beautiful life with Meghan and their children, and he has real friends now. People who actually have his back. Unlike the opportunists he left behind. And let's talk about this nonsense about his busted flush brand. That's funny considering Netflix, Spotify, and major global organizations are still working with him. Invictus Games is thriving. His memoir, Spare, shattered sales records. Meanwhile, William and Kate can't even keep sponsors on board for their so-called initiatives. But sure, tell us again how Harry is the one struggling. Then we have the latest smear job regarding Sentabali. Suddenly, out of nowhere, Sophie Chandaka resigns and starts throwing around bullying accusations against Harry. Sound familiar? It should. It's the same playbook they used against Meghan. No evidence, no proof, just vague allegations designed to tarnish his reputation. It's character assassination 101. And the timing? Extremely convenient, almost as if this was orchestrated by people with a very clear anti-Sussex agenda. And let's not forget the laughable demand that Harry should apologize to William and promise never to sell out the family's secrets again. First of all, telling the truth isn't selling out, it's reclaiming your narrative. Secondly, what exactly is Harry supposed to apologize for? For refusing to be their scapegoat? For daring to expose their hypocrisy? For choosing happiness over duty to an outdated, oppressive institution? Yeah, no, that's not happening. And the final kicker? The veiled threat against Invictus. The article claims, all he really has now is Invictus. Translation, we're coming for that next. But let them try. Invictus is stronger than ever. It's a global movement that's helped countless veterans, and it's a project Harry has poured his heart and soul into. Unlike certain other royals, he actually follows through on his commitments. Cough Kate's never-ending early years initiative. Cough. So let's set the record straight. Harry is not lonely, he is not isolated, and he definitely is not desperate to go crawling back to the Windsors. That's the delusion of royalists who can't handle the fact that he's thriving without them. They want to break him down, but it's not going to work. He's too strong, and he's got too much love, support, and success surrounding him. Prince Harry's friends wish he would make peace with his family and come home. Someone is running a big play on Prince Harry. It's not so much a follow the breadcrumbs situation, it's out in the open with a big ally of Prince William stepping in to manipulate and manage Sophie Chandaka. Sentabali has been hijacked by people with a strong anti-Sussex agenda, and they're using Chandaka as their unhinged proxy. Adjacent to the Sentabali mess, the old, unnamed sources are running around screaming that Harry is miserable in California and desperate to speak to the awful Windsors. After months of not having his usual peg agenda-driven sources, weirdly the Daily Beast royalist managed to squeeze out a big exclusive about all of this. Prince Harry is lonely and isolated living in California, has completely severed contact with old friends in the UK, and will be devastated at being forced to resign from the charity he founded in memory of his mother, friends, acquaintances, and TV industry insiders have told the Daily Beast. Sources close to Harry have denied the claims, telling the Daily Beast he is happy with his family, in his luxury home in Montecito. However, one Los Angeles-based TV executive, who has dealt with Harry and his team over the past few years, and met the prince socially on several occasions, told the Daily Beast, "This is a very transactional town, and when you are perceived as toxic, people run a mile from you. So no, I haven't seen Harry at any dinners lately. His brand is a busted flush and no one wants to be associated with failure." The fact is that Harry started with one of the best brands in the world, Prince Harry, and trashed it. The clue is in the name, Prince Harry. It's increasingly sunk in now to the wider world that he is not a royal anymore, which leaves a question. What's the point? It's hard to tell at this stage. The executive said they were aware of bullying allegations made against Harry by Sophie Chandauka, the head of Sentabale, the charity he founded, and dramatically quit this week. They said, bullying allegations seem to follow this couple everywhere. It's massively unhelpful as his whole brand was being a nice guy as opposed to another nasty royal. One old friend of the prince, whose family are long-term friends of the Windsors and who was very close to him and his brother growing up, said, "It's absolutely tragic. He has dozens of friends here who would love to hear from him, but he has completely severed contact with us. No one ever hears from him." Asked about a report in the Sun newspaper this weekend which said Harry's only social outlet was with the husbands of Meghan's pals, the friend said, "I know he feels lonely and isolated. Who wouldn't if they had moved to another country where they don't know anyone and then their whole professional life and their beloved charity had collapsed? It's awful, and we just wish he would make peace with the family and come home." The friend said that the price of peace would be a private apology to William for revealing details of their personal life in his memoir and films, and a solemn promise to not sell out the family's secrets again. Another friend who was involved with the prince in charity work when he lived in the UK and was a full-time royal said, "He is going to be devastated at what has happened to Sentabale. He poured his heart and soul into that. All he really has now is Invictus. The Invictus Games are the Paralympic-style games he set up 10 years ago for wounded veterans." A friend of the king's told the Daily Beast he would also love to reconcile with Harry, but that it was impossible, while Harry was still engaged in legal action against the UK government over his security arrangements. The royalist sources sure do have a laundry list of things Harry must do if he ever wants to reconcile with his garbage father and brother. Almost as if that's the whole F-King point of this operation. Harry must apologize to William, LOL, and promise to drop all litigation against Ravek and Charles's friends at the Mail. You should also read all he really has now is Invictus, as a threat, even though it's false. Harry has more going on than that and they know it, but they're letting him know that they're coming after Invictus next. ChatGPT said, Harry-Meghan script, if you're tired of the lies and love seeing Harry and Meghan win, then make sure you're subscribed so you never miss an update. And if you want to keep supporting the truth, hit that super thanks button. Every little bit helps keep this channel going and keeps us calling out the Royal Rota for the frauds they are. Until next time, squad, stay loud, stay proud, and keep exposing the royal lies.